They call it the castle. But the scariest thing about this mansion is not what you see. It is what you hear when no one is inside. The castle rises over the Beaufort River in South Carolina like a dream made of stone. Its stately walls and elegant architecture suggest wealth, power, and timeless beauty. To many, it appears like a European manor transported to the American South. But to those who know its past, the house is no dream. It is a nightmare carved into brick and mortar, soaked in tragedy, and whispered about in hushed tones across Beaufort. Please like and subscribe. Now let's get back to the horror. The castle's story begins in the 1850s. Dr. Joseph Johnson, a wealthy physician, envisioned a mansion that would rival the estates of Europe. He imported bricks, ironwork, and stone from overseas. Locals watched in awe as the house rose piece by piece, towering over the riverbank. But before Johnson could finish his creation, the Civil War broke out. His dream was abandoned overnight. When Union forces occupied Beaufort, the castle was seized. Instead of a home, it became a military hospital, its unfinished rooms filled with the sick, the wounded, and the dying. Soldiers lay in agony, their cries echoing against the cold stone. Some died clutching letters from home. Others passed away without names, buried hastily, forgotten by history. Blood stained the floorboards so deeply that it took years to scrub away. Neighbors claimed they could hear the moans of the wounded long after the war ended, and some say those cries have never ceased. Yet even before the war, the castle carried a darker burden. Enslaved men and women had been forced to labor through brutal heat, lifting stones and mixing mortars, often under inhumane conditions. Whispers spread that some died during the mansion's construction. According to local lore, their bodies were buried in unmarked graves on the estate grounds. If that is true, then the castle is not only a house, it is a graveyard disguised in elegance. For generations, residents have told stories of strange and frightening occurrences within the castle. Footsteps climb the stairs in the dead of night when no living soul is present. Doors slam shut with violent force, even when the air is still. Guests describe sudden waves of icy cold air that chill them to the bone, no matter how many fireplaces burn. And mirrors, it is said, have reflected figures that do not belong to this world. The most famous of all these phantoms is the Lady in White. Witnesses say she drifts along the riverbank, her figure glowing pale in the moonlight. Others claim she gazes silently from the windows of the upper floor, her hollow eyes fixed on passers-by. Was she? Some believe she was the grieving widow of a Union soldier who died within those walls. Others insist she was a servant girl whose spirit lingers, forever tied to a home she was forbidden to enter in life. Those who have seen her describe a suffocating cold that fills the air when she appears, as if the world itself holds its breath in her presence. But the Lady in White is not alone. Paranormal investigators have reported the sound of heavy boots marching through the halls, stopping suddenly at the landing of the grand staircase. Disembodied voices whisper in rooms where no one stands. One visitor swore they heard a man's voice sobbing in an empty chamber. Another claimed a mirror in the parlor revealed a uniformed soldier standing directly behind them, yet, when they turned around, the room was empty. The castle's location on the Beaufort River adds another layer to its legend. In Lowcountry folklore, water is more than a boundary between land and sea. It is believed to be a gateway between worlds, a passage where spirits wander. The castle sits directly on this liminal edge, as if it were built to attract restless souls. Fishermen who cast their nets too close to the property speak of bad luck and strange shadows in the water. Some even refuse to sail near the estate, claiming that the river itself is cursed by the dead who lie beneath its banks. Even in recent times, the mansion has not shaken its reputation. Paranormal groups have captured photographs filled with orbs of light and faces peering from the windows. Recordings made inside have revealed chilling voices, one of which clearly whispered the words, "Get out." Others report strange candlelight moving from room to room, as if someone carries a lantern through the house. Yet when they approached, the building stood dark and silent. Beaufort's ghost tour guides tell their own chilling tales of the castle. Guests often feel watched as they linger outside the property. Some have claimed their phones or cameras stopped working the moment they tried to record the house. One tour guide described leading a group when a woman screamed. She had seen a pale figure staring from the balcony, yet no one lived in the home at the time. The castle is privately owned today, and its current residents rarely speak of the haunting. Some say they prefer silence, refusing to give the spirits more attention. Others believe that speaking of the dead strengthens their grip on the living. Whatever the reason, the stories continue to circulate. Whispered by locals, retold by visitors, and passed down by generations of Beaufort families. At dusk, the castle takes on a different character. The windows seem to glow faintly, even when no lights burn inside. Shadows move across the upstairs rooms, shifting as if figures pace silently behind the curtains. On moonless nights, the house seems to breathe, groaning under the weight of history, as if its walls themselves remember everything they have seen. And if you are patient enough to linger on the riverbank, you may experience what countless others have sworn to feel. A sudden chill that raises every hair on your neck. The sound of footsteps climbing the stairs inside. A faint flicker of light in an upstairs window. Sometimes, just sometimes, the mournful cry of a woman drifting across the water. The castle is a marvel of architecture, a piece of Southern history, and one of Beaufort's proudest landmarks. But it is also something more. It is a place where the past bleeds into the present. A place where the living and the dead share the same halls. A place where beauty and horror walk hand in hand. And when the sun goes down and the river turns black, the castle waits. Its windows watch, its walls whisper. And if you dare to look long enough, you may discover why so many say that the castle is not haunted by the past. It is haunted by the present.